The faculty here at UC Davis is celebrating the accomplishment of our friends and colleagues. Last week, we had 2 members of our faculty elected to the American Academy of Art and Science. Today, we have the announcement of 3 members of our faculty elected to the National Academy of Science. Let's start with last week. Let's start with Pam, Ronald, and Archana. So we have 2 new members of the American Academy of Art and Science. Pam, please meet Archana. Archana, please meet Pam.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well. Meet you.
Meet you, that's right. Well, we'll meet in person next year.
We will.
Before.
I've been told that it's an induction ceremony. It's an experience of a lifetime. So I'm hoping I can go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's such a, I mean, I've just been reflecting on what an incredible place UC Davis is. I mean, obviously the article that came out, I was reading about your accomplishments and thinking, my goodness, to be listed alongside somebody like you, not to mention all my other colleagues who've, in my field who've received this recognition. And of course, I feel like Davis doesn't quite get the traction that it deserves. It's always overshadowed by the glitzier schools. And I feel like we're the little engine that could. We're like amazing. We have incredible faculty and teachers. So it's very exciting for me.
Well, maybe we should keep it a secret how much fun we have here with each other.
Yes, that is true. That is true. It must be the cows. It must be the cows.
I already asked this question to Archana, and I'm going to ask it Pam. Pam, how did you learn about your election to the American Academy of Art and Science?
Well, I got an email actually, and I was getting on a plane, and you know how you check your emails one more time, and I almost deleted it. I thought it was for something else. And then my wonderful but slightly nosy, sorry, Randy, lab manager opened my mail because he thought it looked interesting. And he texted me a few minutes later because apparently there was a FedEx package. And so he took a picture and sent it to me. So that was fun.
Archana, last time we spoke, you were in India. Now we are back in California.
Yes.
How was that journey?
Long, very, very long. I think I never want to fly internationally again. So, but it's good to be home.
We have with us today the newest hire, at least in the College of Biological Science. Jennifer Cash is assistant professor here in the Department of MCB, and she's joined us today, and she has a question for both of you. Jennifer.
Yeah, so my question is, as a woman in science, what would you say is the most difficult challenge you've overcome, and how did you overcome it?
Well, I mean, there's lots of challenges for women in science, but we don't need to talk about all that sort of sexual harassment and stuff. But I think one thing is this whole imposter syndrome. It's so challenging, not only for women, some men as well, but it's very common, I think, with women. And I would say that, when you're a young scientist, you think you'll outgrow it. And then you get older and older. And then you realize, oh my goodness, you're not going to outgrow it. But in a way, you finally overcome it because finally you realize how just totally ridiculous it is. It's never going to go away. And you're definitely not alone.
Yeah, I think that's very true. I mean, I'm not a woman in science, more like, but many of the things that Pam spoke about resonated with me. I still am in a state of disbelief and shock about my election. I read the email several times because I thought it was a joke. I was like, how me? Why me when, but there's another thing that I think that's true of a lot of women faculty in academia, and that is the huge amount of service that women faculty and faculty of color perform. I think this is part of, sometimes I think of it as part of this making up for the imposter syndrome. You feel like if you serve, somehow that makes you visible and valuable, even though so much of that service labor is invisible labor and not recognized. Although, Step Plus goes to some ways to correcting that. So I would say, echo what Pam says. I don't think you ever outgrow the imposter syndrome. I think it's always present. And you're always second guessing yourself. And I think balancing one's own research and one's teaching, as well as with the service that we're called upon to perform, and often disproportionately called upon to perform, I think that's really challenging, because you do want to be a good citizen and you want to, contribute to the university, and you want to participate in the shared governance structure, but sometimes it comes at great cost as well. And I think learning how to balance that is as important as, I think, confronting this demon that is the imposter syndrome.
Pam, this has been a very good year for you. The Faculty Research Award from the Academic Senate, American Academy of Art and Science, Wolf Prize, and selected to give a briefing at the annual meeting of the National Academy of Science. Which one is the accomplishment that makes you happiest? All of them.
Well, I mean, it's all a little bit overwhelming. It all makes me very happy in many different ways. I have to say the faculty research lecture was a total surprise, and really makes your heart glow because it's your peers. I've been here 30 years, so I know a lot of people here, and so that made me really, really happy. And I really appreciate my colleagues here.
I can be credit for that one, for giving you the information, because I read the agenda for the Academic Senate and they saw that there, and I emailed you, congratulations. You said, I didn't know that I was even nominated for this one.
I know, I thought you must have been making a mistake. I'm like, no, Walter, I can't be.
So Jennifer, any other question here for the future? These are very well accomplished women that are shown here today and represent the entire faculty. Do you have any additional question for them today?
Yeah, just any final words on any advice that you would suggest for, being happy and successful in this career?
Well, you don't have to do everything at once. Like sometimes I think you look at scientists that are 30 years older than you and oh my gosh, they've done so much. Well, maybe we didn't really do that much each year, right? So when it's spread out. So I think you got to always remind yourself, hopefully you're going to have a long, happy research career. You don't have to do everything at once. Got to take care of yourself, your family, your students. And that really is the most important.
Yeah, I would say make time for the one thing in your life that's in some ways not connected to academia or your work, that gives you, silly, sheer joy, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, whatever that may be, that isn't related to your work, your job, your description as a professor. It could be related to your research interests, but it could be something, or it could be, playing with the dogs or cats or your cockatoo or whatever. But I think having that is so important to keep you kind of grounded, as well as to understand that your life, that there is life outside of Davis, outside of, the day-to-day meetings and teaching and labs and all of the stuff that seems to just mark our days. And I think that's really important. And I think it's especially important for women to do that act of self-care.
Archana, since you talk about the multitasking job of a faculty, which part of the job you like the most? We have the research, teaching, and the service. Which part you like the most?
The part I'm doing at the moment. I love teaching. I love being in the classroom. I enjoy service. I really like being a part of, because I feel like it makes me feel like I'm a part of a community and I'm contributing to to this world. And I really love Davis. You know, I'm a UC kid. I went to Berkeley as an undergrad, as a grad. I did my PhD there, and I came to Davis for my job. So I feel very strongly and connected to public education. So I want to serve that. And I love my research. I just got back from 2.5 months of running around tropical India. So I would say that I'm very much a person who likes to enjoy what I'm doing in the moment. So.
Thank you. Pam, who was the person who influenced you the most in the beginning of your career in research specifically?
Well, I was strongly influenced by Virginia Walbott and her wonderful postdocs. I was very lucky to have my first job in plant genetics as a research technician in Virginia Walbott's lab at Stanford University. And my mentor was Judy Callis.
Oh, Judy Callis, wonderful. That's our colleague here at MCB.
Judy, as some of you know, is a wonderful person, faculty member, won the teaching award, distinguished scientist. And I was very lucky she was my mentor because she was always fun, patient. And that lab was unusual. There were 17 men and one woman. No, sorry, backwards. 17 women and 1 man. And so it was full of laughter and fun. And I really fell in love with plant genetics at that time.
Thank you very much. We are talking today with Pam Ronald, who got the Wolf Prize, elected the National Academy of Science, elected this year to the Academy of Art and Science, and he also selected by the Academic Senate as a Faculty Research Award that she's going to give this lecture sometime soon. We are talking here with Archana that wrote this wonderful book and they got this award and so many accomplishments here. Make us so very proud of both of you. And Jennifer Cash, that in years from now is going to be in the same position that you guys are in now. I'm sure about that, aren't you?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Walter.
And congratulations once again, Pam, and all the best, Jennifer. And if you ever want to reach out across the board to the humanities people, I'm always available.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Take care.